Welcome to the Fox 411 and Kiss Country Neighborhood News. It's holiday time, so we're going to
It
talk holiday
is.
things. Yes,
Yep.
we have Edie Blanchard here. She's from the McNider Art Museum. Of course, we have her on from quite a few times actually throughout the year for special events.
Yeah.
And glad to have you here, Edie.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me today. I love to come and tell you guys about this and show off all the fun things that we're going to do.
Yeah. Well, Off the Clock is happening, what, the 13th?
Yep. So we start the big weekend with a cocktail party for adults, an adult activity, which is McNider Off the Clock.
Right. And you wanted to remind everybody what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about it. So that is between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. And you come, we have wine, we have lots of good things to eat. We will have Sam Crosser here playing all the Christmas tunes. We
He's the
usually
best.
have a group of people that they even bring, music books, and they do sing-alongs, and they just have a really great time doing it, And so it's really become a holiday tradition for both the museum, but a lot of the people who attend.
Jay, have you ever seen Sam Crosser?
No, I don't think I ever
He's
have.
from Osage, and I've known him all my life. The guy he's the happiest piano player you've ever seen.
Yeah.
The
So
guy
he plays like Christmas music,
Yeah.
or jazz music, but he gives it sort of like peppy a jazz twist. He really is a lot of fun.
It's his animation that really
Yes,
adds
it
to
is.
it all,
And he can play pretty much any song you request at the drop of a hat.
Yeah,
Like I don't
he
think he's ever said no that he doesn't know. I mean, he is so immensely talented.
Yeah.
He has that ear for music.
He's a rocker too, by the way.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if he dressed up as a Grinch and played all these happy Christmas.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it.
So it's always a really popular time. It does start at 5, so you can stop on your way home from work.
Sure.
Or, it goes till 7. So let's say you're going out for dinner with friends, stop at the museum first before you go out to, there's always live music, things like that on Friday nights in Mason City. Stop at the museum first and have something to eat and drink.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, we'll have wine and, there's 7-Up, soda, things like that. And then we'll also have lots of yummy things to eat, which we always do. We always serve some goodies for people. So that's mainly what's happening on Friday night.
So are these activities, are they going to cost anything to get in, or is it?
No, they're totally free. Both of them are. And they also don't require any registration. So it's one of those where you just show up and you come and you have a great time. You'll run into people that you haven't seen in forever. And, a lot of people network here. I know a lot of people who are in business in town. This is where they go to, make connections, but also people who just want to have a good time and enjoy the art.
Yeah, that's Friday the 13th, by the way.
Yes, Friday the 13th. Not spooky. It's holiday. We moved on to holiday time.
That's right. We moved on. Yeah, that's the adult fun at McNider Art, and you can go to McNiderArt.org to find out more about that. But also then the next day is more like family time.
Yes, it is. It is. It's really our family-centered activity. And this has been going on for about 45, 50 years here at the museum. It has a long tradition of a lot of people helping. What's always so sweet is people who came here as kids. Now we're bringing their kids. And I've worked here. This is my 17th one, I think. Wow. So I'm starting to see people who, were coming here in elementary school, and now they have little kids that they're bringing. So it's always so sweet to see that. So
that's good. Yeah. So that's 1 to 4, I believe.
1 to 4, yes. So it's 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. We have a couple things going on during that time period. The mayor will read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" at, I believe, like 1:30, 2 o'clock and 2:30. And then I believe at 2:30, when he's done, the Clarinet Society will come and they will play now a whole round of Christmas music. And if you don't know what they are, there are people who played the clarinet in high school, in marching band, in college, and they just play the clarinet for fun. And they get together and they play Christmas music and all sorts of things like that kind of in our community. There's probably about 10 of them. And so they'll be playing Christmas music as well for a period of time. We have our special guest Santa Claus, and we also have Mrs. Claus is joining him this year. We have a lot of elves that will help them also do a lot of different activities. So I'll show you guys here some of the crafts that we're doing.
Okay.
I'll pull it up to my thing. So this is a watercolor Christmas card, and kids can, it's blank on the inside. They can keep it themselves, but wouldn't that be fun to get in the mail to an aunt or, aunts, uncles, and cousins, grandma, grandpas? I think they'd really appreciate something like that. And these are watercolor. They're going to put sticky stars down, and then they will, color it all in with watercolors.
I think that's cool that the Christmas card thing. I still get probably about a dozen.
Yeah, I do Christmas cards. In fact, when I have my crazy moments, I make them from scratch.
That's cool.
So,
when you should. You do.
When you run the art museum, there's somehow this higher level of standard that people expect from my Christmas cards.
Of course they do. Of course. The pressure is on.
Yes, it is. But then we also have some stained glass items that they're going to replicate. So what these are is they're cutouts. Then we put contact paper down. And then, I don't know if you can see, there's tissue paper we put down. And then these will hang in your window and be like sun crutchers. They're kind of meant to look like snowflakes or stained glass. And I think the kids will really enjoy. They're very easy to put the paper pieces on. So, we make these crafts for kids starting probably about 18 months all the way. We have adults make these crafts.
Right.
So
that reminds me, they kind of look like CDs a little bit.
Yeah, they did. They're about that size, aren't they?
Yeah. I wonder, that's what we can do with all the old CDs. You should come up with
if you ever have CDs that you would like to donate,
bring them by, right?
We make spinny tops for them. So you put marbles on the top and on the bottom.
Yep.
And then you take your hand and you can spin it around, and then we'll have the kids design a paper to go around it. Yeah. Or we've made mobiles. So if you ever have CDs you want to donate, drop them off at the museum.
There you go. Jay, with all your Kenny Rogers CDs,
for a while, but we've gotten some more recently.
Okay.
So this is our little Foxy.
Okay.
Focus on here. So,
cute.
When you think of winter, you think of things like foxes. You got a little nose. And so this will be a cardboard shape. And the kids will attach the ears, and then they will wrap string around. And then here's their eyeballs that they'll glue on, and then they'll put on a nose.
There's our new mascot.
Foxes and some of the red foxes.
Yeah.
And this is one of those cute things that's just really an experience for kids. Any kid of any age can make, because it's just wrapping the yarn, and you're creating something kind of out of like scrap material, which is fun. And then we have ornaments that are tiny little. If you look at this, they are teeny tiny canvases we bought.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. And so the kids will paint them, and then we'll glue a loop on them. And then they will hang on the tree as an ornament for the kids.
And you're having these workshops to make this stuff the whole time?
So it's not exactly workshops. It's more like a come and go.
Oh, okay.
And so there's like tables throughout the building. So, the idea behind it is you can go get cookies, because we have our cookie bakers make something like 1,200 cookies. And so you get your fill of cookies, you write a letter to Santa, you wait in line for Santa, you hear the mayor read a story, listen to the clarinets, and then intermittent between this, we have probably about 5 of these activities for you to work on. And as you know, with kids, you guys have both been parents, your kids might last for one activity, or they might last the entire day and want to do more. And that's why we have it from 1 to 4. So it's kind of open for kids to be able to, pick and choose. But we have one last thing, and this is a coloring sheet. It's not just an ordinary coloring sheet. It's actually an iron-on, and we've ironed it on, so it would be in reverse. But we have some of these that were donated by a business that used to do color-on T-shirts. And so kids can take that home, or we have canvas that we can iron it on for.
What's that say on there? Santa, you're the best? Or?
Yeah, Santa likes me best.
Oh, likes me best. Oh,
yeah. I'm not a very good influencer because I keep turning it the wrong direction.
So can people bring in a T-shirt, and then you guys can iron that on for them?
They could bring their own T-shirt. That's true. Or we have canvas, or they can take it home, and their mom or grandma or somebody or their dad can iron on the T-shirt it onto the t-shirt for them.
Yeah, right.
So,
The dad. No.
well, I put that out there because, my husband does his fair share of, ironing the shirt 5 minutes before the Christmas concert is going to start or the band concert is going to start, if I'm not home yet. So at least my husband's pretty good at that.
You should find a way to put your watermark on there. I mean, let people know where they got it from. McNider Art. Yeah.
So
Put the
we
year
have
on
those
there, whatever.
activities, and this is all sponsored. Is once again, as I mentioned, it's all free thanks to
Right.
Kids Club with First Citizens. They pay for a lot of the art supplies, but all the other expenses related to this weekend are paid for by the McNider family and the Detmer family. Those families together do sponsorships of this event because they just really enjoy what it gives back to the community. So if you see any of those families in the community, we urge you to tell them thank you and let them know that their money was well spent and you enjoyed it.
That's awesome. And of course, if you're out there, you can still donate.
Yes, you can still donate. And I'd like to also point out that the museum shop will be open both days.
Okay.
It's open, every day until Christmas. That's another way in which you can support the museum because a small percentage of it goes to us, but the majority of the funds go to local artists in our community. So if you were looking for one of a kind, very unique Christmas gifts, stop by the museum and you will definitely find something that you're not going to find in a big box retailer store.
That's right.
Yep.
I get the feeling of homemade when I think of your.
But, and you could say homemade, but I mean, we have some really amazing pieces of jewelry, pottery. I mean, we have fused glass Christmas trees that are just phenomenal. We have a small little miniatures that are in little glass domes that are all different kinds of Christmas scenes, and none of it really looks homemade, but it's just made by artists in our community,
cool.
And it's really important to support us. In fact, we have one tree that is only Christmas ornaments made by local artists. So if you're a family that likes to give an ornament every year, stop by and support one of the artists by buying something off the tree.
That's neat.
Yeah.
I would think that you would actually, speaking of your shop in there, how about some stockings? McNider Art.
Oh, yes, with stockings on it. We've never done that, but that is an idea that we could do in the future. Yeah.
I like that.
Jay, do you there are definitely little stocking stuffers and things like that.
Yeah. Don't you put stockings up, Jay?
Yeah.
Well, your wife does, but
yeah, she hung them there on the fireplace. So
I was reminded about that today. I was reading somewhere where guys forget their wives on stocking stuffers.
Yeah, no. So this is, I see all this where they say, gentlemen, this is your reminder.
Yeah.
To, get your wife stocking stuffer. And this is what I did. I told my husband this weekend, I handed him a bag and I said, this is what you got me for my stocking.
Oh, there you go.
And I handed it to him. Because I'm not going to remind anybody. I'll just go get it for myself. And now I know I'm getting what I wanted in my stocking. He is actually very, very good at all the other Christmas presents. Mm-hmm. And he does usually put things he finds himself in my stocking. But I help him out a little bit.
The main piece that you
want. Yes, the main piece.
Yeah.
That's a interesting point to make too. Do you actually have like McNider gift cards? Can people?
We have gift certificates. Yes,
gift certificates.
Okay. And so another very popular thing is, especially for kids, people say, "I don't know what to get for my niece or nephew." Right. I highly encourage you to buy them a gift certificate for a museum class. That would be fantastic, and you can even register them for a class ahead of time. We also do gift certificates for our museum shop. So let's say that you want to get something from a local artist, but you don't know how to support them. Mm-hmm. You just give them a gift certificate for the museum shop.
Okay. And speaking of that, by the way, McNiderArt.org. Of course, we're talking about the holiday festivities that are happening on December 13th for Off the Clock and the 14th for the holiday event for families to come in with Santa and all that. But I'm sure that you're working on already 2025 on sign up.
We are. We're already working our way through there. We do have a number of classes. I always encourage people to go to our website to look at every single class to see what's up and coming. I will say, I myself personally am teaching a watercolor class that I know I get a lot of requests for. And I'm also teaching a printmaking class. It has been years since we've taught a printmaking class. And I'm the person on staff that knows how to do printmaking. So that's going to be me. So I'm teaching a printmaking class that will be coming up, both for kids, a class, and for adults. But we have a lot of choices. Our pottery classes really are popular. If you're interested in those, sign up for them now because they do fill.
Well, I'm going to vouch that these are great classes to get signed up for. My granddaughters are always. My daughter-in-law does a great job always figuring out what you guys got going on, and my granddaughters
Yeah,
get involved all the time. So
that's good. That's wonderful. Hopefully they'll come on this coming next Saturday.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, December
Sure they
13th
will.
and 14th. What's
Yeah.
that, Jay?
I said, I'm sure they will because I see all the crafts that they've got.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's their neighbor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's right. Well, Edie, thank you so much. You've enlightened everybody about what to do here for this upcoming. I mean, gosh, we're already just days away from Christmas, and everything's speeding right along with. And we'll be anxious to talk to you again in 2025. And
I will be back in January to tell you about the classes we have coming up and give you some suggestions about, we always like to remind people if you're thinking about a wedding here, graduation parties, any of that, baby showers, call ahead of time because we're booked pretty solidly. So if you're interested in those things, we still have spaces for holiday Christmas parties. If people are interested in a place for your place of business, we do Christmas parties here. And we have even been known to, like, if you want to do an art painting project for your staff, we'll lead an art activity as well.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. Edie Blanchard here joining us today on our Fox 411 and Kiss Country Neighborhood News. And please spread the cheer. You see this podcast, if you listen to it on a podcast on our websites, wonderful. We get it out on social media and everything else. But Merry Christmas, Edie.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you guys too.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.